Minister Starmer. Melania and I are tremendously thankful for the wonderful hospitality that you and Lady Starmer have extended today at Chequers. Quite the place, I must say.
Mr. President, Mrs. Trump, it is with great pleasure that my wife and I welcome you to Windsor Castle on this, your second state visit to the United Kingdom.
King Charles, he's a wonderful guy. The lion-hearted people of this kingdom defeated Napoleon, unleashed the Industrial Revolution, destroyed slavery, and defended civilization in the darkest days of fascism and communism. The British gave the world the Magna Carta, the modern parliament, and Francis Bacon's scientific method. They gave us the works of Locke, Hobbes, Smith, and Burke, Newton, and Blackstone. I'll tell you that I just stood in line and shook about 150 hands. And the king knew every single person and every single company, and some of them had bad names like XYZ-Q3, and he knew every one of them, or at least I think he did, because nobody was complaining. I was very impressed with that.
Look, I mean, in terms of a Christian country, I was Christian. That is, my church has been all my life.
The Prime Minister said, I was christened, he said today, this afternoon, as though that explained whether we were a Christian country. But he's actually been quoted as saying, 2 years ago, saying he was an atheist, he's a committed atheist. Is he the kind of guy that says something when you're there?
I think he's a very nice man. I really do.
Let me be really clear about Hamas. They're a terrorist organisation who can have no part in any future governance in Palestine. And what happened on October the 7th?
I think the Mayor of London, Khan, is among the worst mayors in the world. And we have some bad ones. And I spoke to President Putin about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. I've said that many times. It was. But he would have never done what he did, except that he didn't respect the leadership of the United States. They just went through the Afghanistan total disaster for no reason whatsoever. We're going to leave Afghanistan, but we're going to leave it with strength and dignity. And we're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, that one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back.
You mentioned in your remarks at the press conference something about Bagram and bringing it back to the U.S.
I'd like to get Bagram back.
Do you know how you plan to do that, sir?
They need a lot from us. The artwork. I saw more paintings than any human being has ever saw, and statues. Prince Charles and Camilla, they're friends of mine for a long time, long before he was king. I've watched. He's such an elegant gentleman, and he represents the country so well. Well, I hope you had a good time, everybody. I think it was a really good day and a half. Very intensive. Any questions?
Can we just have one word on how beautiful all the women looked last night? Caroline and your wife and
Well, I'm not
Catherine,
allowed
the
to
mother.
say that politically because it could be the end of my career.
Give me permission to say it.
However, I'll say it anyway. The women look beautiful. You look beautiful.
Thank
The
you.
women look really beautiful. You're right. Our superstar over here looked great.
Look beautiful.
That's Caroline.
Amazing too.
Has she done a good job?
Yeah,
What did
amazing.
you mean, by the way?
Everybody was great. Even the men looked beautiful. Okay. It's hard not to look beautiful in that room. That was one of the coolest rooms. That room was built for a table. That's what I've done for a life. I built buildings. Like I'm building a building here. You know where I'm building? You know what? You see that area? Yeah. That is going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. And for 150, so it gives me pleasure to do it for the country. And I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. The country's not, and that's an expensive ballroom. I think it'll cost $250 million, and it will be, I think, the finest ballroom. So for 150 years, John, you know this? They've wanted a ballroom, and now they're going to finally have it, and it's going to knock your socks off.
What should Congress focus on? What are your top priorities with Congress?
We're going to finish the wars. We have a couple of them going, as you know.
Do you believe the Federal Reserve is an independent body? What do you think about the independence?
Oh, it should be. It should be. But I think they should listen to smart people like me. What?
Do you agree with that? The Utah governor said that social media is a cancer and more people should log off and take some time away.
Well, it's not a cancer in all respects.
Pope Leo the other day in an interview criticized the fact that some CEOs make hundreds of times more in salary than average workers. He's worried about polarization.
Yeah.
Do you share that concern?
Well, I do say there's a big gap. I do say that. Don't forget, I'm a popularist. There's a big gap.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
Very angry, mean Biden. You know, Biden was always a mean guy, but never a smart guy. You know, even you go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he was a stupid guy, but he was always a mean son of a bitch, you know? How's it working? Not working too well for him right now, as that says. So when you start feeling sorry for him, remember, he was a bad guy. He'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe
Would that
they'll
be
come after
appropriate?
ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech, so maybe they'll have to go after you. Kimmel he was fired, he had no talent. He's a whack job, but he had no talent, and more importantly than talent, he had no, because a lot of people have no talent, they get ratings. But he had no ratings. His ratings were worse than Colbert, I think. That's something that should be talked about for licensing too. When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump. That's all they do. If you go back, I guess they haven't had a conservative on in years or something, somebody said. But when you go back and you take a look, all they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that. They're an arm of the Democrat Party. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good flight. Fly safely. You know why I say that? Because I'm on the flight.
I want to get home.
Otherwise, I wouldn't care.